Hey Stoic soul, you who carries the weight of unseen battles, who measures worth by silence and strength by what you endure. You wake, and already your armor is heavy. The world, buzzing and biting, hands you 1,000 little tests. The glance you can't quite read, the comment left hanging, the challenge blurted out to shake your peace. You think, should I say something? Should I defend, explain, impress? You've been told to clap back, to win the moment. But what if the real victory, the rarest kind, is the power to leave them speechless with your calm? Today, we uncover 9 responses sharper than any comeback, forged in fire by the Stoics, meant to end chaos before it begins. Breathe in. This is the lesson you've been waiting for. These are the 9. Law 1. Sometimes the sharpest response is not a response at all. You know the feeling, the urge to fill every gap in conversation, to explain, to repair, to justify yourself against every throwaway jab. But the Stoic knows silence is the proof, not the plea. When your calm is unbroken, the noise around you fades away. Let them wonder. Let your silence be the mirror they fear. Picture yourself attending a meeting that could be replaced by a single, grammatically incorrect email. Around you, chatter fills the air like a flock of caffeinated pigeons. Somebody lobs a comment your way. Backhanded, of course, because that's the unofficial language of team meetings. Instead of leaping to your own defense or launching into a PowerPoint of justifications nobody asked for, you simply breathe. You look at them. You let your silence drop to the floor with a soft, dignified thud. Suddenly, the entire room becomes acutely, even uncomfortably, aware of the power shifting. You are an island of serenity, surrounded by storms of insecurity. And that, dear listener, is terrifying. Seneca might sit beside you, nodding in approval, possibly stroking an imaginary beard of wisdom. Silence, he'd whisper, is often mistaken for ignorance, until it becomes obvious that it is, in fact, pure control. Words can bounce off silence, ricochet, fall flat, and dissolve. Your mind becomes a still pond in which all their stones simply plop, disappear beneath the surface, leaving peace in their wake. The people who prod, who poke, who stir drama like they're making soup, they secretly crave your reaction, your silence. It's the flavor nobody can identify, and yet, somehow, it makes the whole thing taste different. Modern life idolizes constant connection. Notifications assault your senses. Your phone buzzes more faithfully than your actual friends. Algorithms reward hot takes. Social media suggests that every thought, no matter how undercooked, must be served. But what if you just didn't? What if you let other people release their opinions like helium balloons, knowing they'll eventually float away and become someone else's problem? The moment you opt out of this verbal arms race, you become someone strangely fascinating, magnetic, maybe even unsettling. There's an eerie wisdom to someone who knows when to quit the conversation and let their silence do somersaults in the awkwardness. Of course, silence is not just the absence of speech, it's the presence of intention. When you let a comment hang in the air unanswered, you give it weight. You let everyone revisit it in their minds, measuring its merit, judging it not by your response, but by its own cheap construction. Sometimes, silence is the strongest form of protest. Sometimes, it's compassion. Sometimes, frankly, you're just too tired to dignify nonsense with a syllable, and that too is power. Marinate in the thrill of this. The less you say, the more people wonder. Did she not hear me? Is he plotting my ruin? Are they so wise that words are beneath them? Silence gives people the chance to reveal themselves, to fill the vacuum with their own projections and anxieties, And while they twist themselves in knots trying to decipher your stillness, you get to sip your metaphorical tea, unbothered, undisturbed, unflappable. But beware. Silence must not be wielded as a blunt weapon or passive aggression in disguise. The Stoic silence is gentle but immovable, a tree growing quietly as storms rant and rave around it. When practiced artfully, your lack of response leaves space for real dialogue, clarity, and occasionally the punchline that needs no follow-up. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, sometimes the bravest act is simply to remain quiet. Embrace the lull, the pause, the wordless interval. The next time someone throws brambles your way, resist the temptation to tidy up the mess. Just let the words fall dead. Their noise cannot touch the fortress of your untroubled mind. Law 2. When someone confronts you with bite, irritation, or accusation, you feel the instinct to fight or grovel, both reactions the Stoics call chains. Instead, breathe and simply ask, why do you say that? The effect is electric. Instead of escalating, you gently, fearlessly put the lens back on them, disarming conflict, transforming aggression into a search for understanding, without letting their storm leak into your peace. Imagine you're peacefully munching your microwaved veggie nuggets, just vibing in your own little zen bubble, when a coworker suddenly hurls a spicy comment. Well, some people actually try at their jobs. The ancient Stoic, within you, starts to wake up. You feel that old familiar rumble. Fight? Flee? Stage a dramatic feint and hope HR carries you out on a stretcher. The automatic reflexes are always the same. Armor up, or dissolve into an anxious puddle of apology. But you, dear modern Stoic, are ready for a third option. Summoning your inner Zen, you let the moment pass without flinching. You picture yourself as a highly trained philosophical ninja, robe flowing, mind clear, frozen chicken nugget. At the ready, you pause, breathe, and with the gentle curiosity of a scientist observing a particularly dramatic guinea pig, you ask, why do you say that? Suddenly, the battleground shifts. Where there was tension, now there's a moment of stunned silence. Your question floats in the air. No sword drawn, no armor donned. Just pure curiosity. A bold move that Stoic philosophers would high-five you for if they weren't so busy sitting quietly on marble benches, judging nobody except possibly themselves. The disarming question in action does not mean you're letting people walk all over you, nor does it mean you're lobbing grenades disguised as questions. Why do you say that, Karen? Did your tarot cards tell you to? Is not quite it. Instead, you're practicing what Marcus Aurelius did, stepping back, untying the chain of reactive instinct, and transforming friction into a shared conversation. Why does this work? Humans are wily creatures. We're always scanning for threat or support. When someone expects retaliation, your curiosity knocks them off their script entirely. It's like bringing a therapy dog to a fencing match. The game changes. Swords drop. The other person must pause, snow globe-esque, and explain themselves, perhaps for the first time. The real magic here is what it does for you. Instead of stewing in hurt or steeling yourself for battle, you create a buffer, a pocket of philosophical bubble wrap between their emotion and your reaction. In that space, you're free. You aren't bound by the puppet strings of their mood swings or unfiltered opinions. Even better, sometimes a simple, sincere question will unravel a hidden story. Maybe your co-worker's cat just learned to use a whiteboard and has upstaged them, or maybe they're jealous of your lunch. Either way, you learn, not just about them, but about which storms aren't yours to weather. And on a sleepy Tuesday, when someone tries to hand you their thundercloud, simply, and ask gently, why do you say that? Imagine Marcus Aurelius appearing beside you in your cardigan, nodding approvingly while petting your philosophical support dog. The world might just become a touch kinder, and your microwave nuggets somehow a little crispier. Law 3. Some people just want to see you react, to stir up clouds. The Stoic way? Name the weather, don't become the storm. Calmly say, that's an interesting opinion, or I can see you feel strongly about that. No drama, no fuel for their fire. You give them the dignity of being seen, while remaining anchored in yourself. Picture this. You're in a shopping mall, blissfully contemplating which overpriced coffee will elevate your soul this afternoon. Suddenly, someone waddles over with a sizzling hot take about pineapple on pizza, politics, or the precise number of cats allowed per household, before you must legally declare yourself eccentric. Their eyes gleam, ready to summon chaos, expecting you to throw down some passionate defense or snarky retort. But instead, you channel your inner Marcus Aurelius, minus the ancient Roman toga, unless you shop at extremely niche stores, and simply acknowledge, I see you care a lot about that. Fascinating. Watch as their sails deflate. You're a human raincoat, unfazed by their squall. This is naming the weather. You label the emotional climate, but don't step outside and get drenched. Todd at the office wants to test tornado your peace with recycled gossip. Sounds like there's a lot going on for you. Aunt Marge at dinner is wielding her opinions like lightning bolts at the dessert table. I can tell you're very passionate, Marge. You've identified the thunder, but you haven't brought your own umbrella drama to the forecast. Curiously, by refusing to react, you not only protect your own sanity, but sometimes, just sometimes, you become the oasis of calm that calms the rest of the storm. Stoics know that most people's outbursts aren't a reflection of cosmic truths, but of passing moods, hunger, too little sleep, or being forced to use Internet Explorer in 2024. By detaching just enough to observe, not absorb, you start living above the fray. This isn't about being robotic or cold. It's about preserving inner clarity. Naming the weather doesn't mean ignoring the rain. It means you don't have to dance in every downpour someone else brings. You can look out the window and say, rain again. Not my circus. Not my clouds. The true comedic gift of this approach. Sometimes, the person whose thunder you didn't answer will escalate, perhaps with interpretive dance, louder opinions, or, if very British, a disapproving sigh. And still, you remain the serene lighthouse amidst their wavy emotional tide. Try experimenting with how many variations you can use. What a perspective. Noted. Gosh, there's a storm of ideas in here today. You might amuse yourself so thoroughly that their provocation feels like gentle background music. Why does this work? People fundamentally want to be heard, not ignored. But what fires their engines is your spark. When you respond with acknowledgement minus a return volley, you give them the respect of seeing their humanity while declining a starring role in their drama. You become the world's politest bouncer. Yes, I see the weather is wild out there, but this nightclub is strictly for inner peace. No storms allowed past the velvet rope. And if, despite your best efforts, the weather gets rough inside your mind, if you catch yourself soaked in someone else's downpour, just notice it. Name it for what it is. Now I've joined the storm. Fascinating. Watch as, little by little, naming the weather helps you dry off faster every time. So tonight, as you drift towards sleep, imagine yourself as the wise meteorologist of your own soul, calmly marking the appearance of every emotional cloud, thundercrack, or sudden rainbow without abandoning your sunny sky of composure. You're the forecast, not the flood. Tomorrow, may your only storm be a thrilling debate about whether tea is better with lemon or existential dread. Sleep well. Weather Watcher A. Law 4. When arguments come raining down, your ego flares up, desperate to protect identity, pride, image. The fastest way to end the rain. Surrender the need to win. You might be right. It confuses. It calms. It ends the fight. The proud expect resistance. You offer relief. What they don't realize, you just proved who actually controls the terms of the battle. Imagine you're sitting at a table, some cheap, wobbly IKEA relic, across from someone who's already 2.5 coffee refills deep, determined to defeat you in debate. They're casting data like confetti, citing obscure philosophers, and gesticulating so wildly you worry for your coffee's safety. The volume swells. You sense the storm brewing. Your mind urges you to unleash your inner Socrates, to verbally suplex your opponent into admitting you have the superior take on whether pineapple belongs on pizza, or if free will is just a fancy name for chaos with a planner. But then, you pause. You've read your Epictetus. You channel Marcus Aurelius, minus the intimidating beard. You say, you might be right. Instantly, their argumentative balloon begins to deflate, like a pool floaty in February. The wind goes out of their flappy, righteous sails. Suddenly, the battleground becomes a garden, populated by the calming hum of possible agreement. No sword, no shield, just an open gate. Who knew the words of surrender could feel so much like a victory lap? Modern Stoicism isn't about never having opinions or living as a doormat for every loudmouth in the vicinity. It's about choosing your battles and, here's the rub, sometimes choosing to have no battle at all. Epic showdown? Nope. Mutual? Huh, maybe. Moment? That's your speed. Seneca probably would have given you a high five if high fives existed in ancient Rome, and not just for surviving another day without a toga malfunction. Real power, whisper the Stoics, is in refusing to let arguments upend your clarity or sleep schedule. Want to be the wise one in the room? The quickest shortcut isn't a clever retort. It's a gentle, you might be right, want to split a snack? Or, you might be onto something. Care to elaborate while we stare into the existential abyss together? You let go, and the argument falls apart like a late-night taco shell. Fragile, ultimately inconsequential. When you release the need to win, you stop feeding the monster of ego on either side of the table. You give breathing room for understanding, or at worst, a peaceful truce. The magic trick, sometimes the other person, stunned by your artful sidestep, lowers their armor and starts asking genuine questions. Wait, but what do you think? Suddenly, the conversation morphs from gladiatorial combat to cooperative curiosity. Score 1 for Stoic ninja moves. Life is a parade of moments asking you to prove something. Want inner peace? Rub your ego down with oil, wrap in a cold towel, and bench it for a while. Surrendering the urge to dominate every discussion leaves you free to observe the spectacle rather than being trampled by it. In the world of online comment sections and family dinners where unplugging the Wi-Fi is considered an act of aggression, you might be right is the ultimate power move. So as you drift into sleep, replay the next argument in your mind. Picture yourself in luxurious toga pajama pants, calmly sipping existential tea, while an argument hurricane blows itself out. You meet it with a weary smile and the kindness of someone who knows that only our egos keep score. The next time you're caught in the rain of words, let the storm pass. Whisper, you might be right. Congratulations. You just stoiced your way to peace, and possibly to the last slice of cake. Law 5. When someone projects their pain or lashes out with complaint, your urge is to fix, defend, or dismiss. The Stoic way is subtle. Empathy without endorsement. A simple, sincere, that sounds difficult, is a balm, human, but detached. You respect their humanity, but you take none of their chaos home with you. Let's face it, superhero emotional rescues look a lot cooler in movies than in carpool lines. When your friend calls you in a dramatic flurry to rant about Judy from accounts, your job isn't to throw on an invisible cape and ignite righteous bonfires. The Stoics understood this. They saw emotions, especially borrowed ones, as treacherous little goblins that sneak into your house, eat all your snacks, and then leave you rattled and exhausted. So, when someone shares their troubles, you can warmly acknowledge their struggle without plumbing the depths of their suffering yourself. That sounds difficult is like handing them a cup of tea, not inviting them to move in. Notice the shift here. The phrase isn't, "I'll fix it." That's terrible. "Let's storm the gates," or, "Oh, I went through worse." Instead, you offer presence, not participation. It's comfort with a velvet rope. There's a gentle boundary. Sometimes, the most compassionate thing you can do is not get entangled in the emotional brambles of someone else's forest. You offer shelter under your porch, not a trek down every twisting path. This doesn't mean you're cold or robotic. Picture Marcus Aurelius himself, giant philosophical beard and all, listening patiently as one of his old Roman chums complains about traffic, by which of course we mean a mob of donkeys and olive oil carts. Marcus would nod sagely and say, "That sounds difficult." He'd mean it, but he wouldn't then personally chase down every donkey to clear the road for his friend. That's the line. Respect for their experience, without burdening yourself with their donkeys. You may worry that this approach will make you seem aloof, like some kind of velvet rope bouncer at the club empathy. But watch what happens. Most people, when met with, "That sounds difficult," experience a curious relief. They're heard and seen. They don't need a rescue operation. They just wanted someone to say, "Wow, that's rough." Sometimes they don't even want advice. They don't need your solution, your epic tale of surviving worse, or your 11-point infographic breakdown of how Judy from accounts can be handled through Microsoft Teams. Your calm, your stillness, your not a donkey chaser energy becomes contagious. Of course, it takes practice. At first, you might feel like a robot reading from an index card. That sounds difficult. Try not to sound like Siri stuck in a compassion loop. Instead, aim for genuine warmth. Maybe add a nod or a soft smile, even if you're on the phone and they can't see you. Extra points for not following up with an elaborate anecdote about your own donkey-related hardships. Empathy, the Stoic way, is about presence over performance. You don't have to fix your friend's relationship, reprogram their boss, or single-handedly end the era of noisy neighbors. You just sit with them momentarily in their discomfort and acknowledge it without judgment or a 5-step intervention plan. Your job is simply to be a lighthouse in the fog, not a tugboat, not a lifeguard, and definitely not the Coast Guard. Sometimes, "That sounds difficult" is enough. And when you practice this regularly, you discover something quietly powerful. Boundaries don't block connection. They preserve it. Your mental fortress remains unbreached, your peace held, and you gift others the rare joy of being heard, really heard, without sparking an emotional housefire in your own mind. If someone gets angry at you for not borrowing their anxiety, remember, it was never yours to carry. For a moment, you offered kindness with a dash of detachment, a little Stoic magic, no cape required. Law 6, accused of being quiet, strange, or difficult. Instead of scrambling to correct the record, calmly own it. Yes, I am different. I try to be. Suddenly the frame shifts, the power flips. What once was their critique becomes your badge. their arrow now a feather. It's midnight at a party you didn't even want to attend. You're lurking by the snack table, your natural habitat, when an extrovert swoops in. They peer at you over the hummus like you're an odd exhibit at a human zoo. "You're so quiet," they exclaim, as if pointing out that you've shown up without your assigned personality. Now, many would feel their anxiety start to simmer, running mental diagnostics. How can I seem more normal, more chatty? Channel your inner Stoic Zen master instead. Smile serenely, scoop a heroic dollop of hummus, and reply, "Yes, I'm going for a mysterious philosopher vibe tonight." Notice how the extrovert pauses, puzzles for a second. Then, voila, mystery status activated. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Just think, ancient wisdom meets no-nonsense gym teacher once jotted that when insulted, instead of protesting, we should pause, accept, and even embrace the charge. Oh, accused of being unusual, Aurelius probably would have said, "Naturally a man dictating philosophical diary entries to myself, am not the poster child for ordinary." Own it, and suddenly you control the weather in the conversation. Their thunder becomes your spring rain. Try this next time you're called intense, weird, or you knew this one was coming, difficult. Say, "Yes, I care a lot. Occasionally, I run on espresso and existential dread." Or, "Thank you. I do enjoy moonlit walks with my questionable opinions." Odds are your critic will be at a loss, like someone who brings a water balloon to a Nerf battle. Self-acceptance is an unbeatable Wi-Fi signal. When you beam it out, others find it hard to mess with your connection. Claiming your quirks refutes the implicit shame. Suddenly, what was supposed to mark you as an outsider now makes you the owner of the room, or at least the snack table. If you're still worried, imagine Socrates at modern job interviews, serenely admitting, "I ask too many questions. Also, I own only one coat." Stoicism teaches us that security comes not from controlling other people's perceptions, but from anchoring in our reality, however quirky. When you calmly say, "Yes, I am different," you model relentless self-possession. To the would-be critics, it's like trying to wrestle a cloud. There's nothing to grasp. Your self-acceptance slips right through their fingers. Try this. Next time someone flings a label at you, like, "Why are you so serious?" Pause, channel your inner Marcus, and say, "The world needs at least one." Add a slow wink for dramatic effect. Notice the power of this move. It's self-deprecating, a little subversive, and deeply liberating. The fear of criticism shrinks under the bright lamp of amusement and acceptance. You become less anxious about other people's opinions and more entertained by your own. Critique is a ball you can choose to let bounce past, grab, or juggle while making finger guns. But when you own what's thrown at you with calm, there's no sting left, just style points. Stoicism, after all, isn't about gaining unshakable composure so you can become an emotionless stone statue. It's about seeing, with a wink, that we're all weird in our own way. Some people hide their quirks. The Stoic lets theirs blossom into a full-flowering cologne called eau d'authenticité. So let them take their shots. You have already claimed your territory, proudly, hilariously, and with unbothered calm. Law 7. Critics and complainers appear everywhere. When the chorus grows loud, simply ask, "What do you suggest?" Now, the room feels the weight of their own complaint. Few have solutions. Those who do reveal themselves as allies. The rest disappear, disarmed by their own empty hands. Let's paint the scene. You're at work, shoulders tense, coffee cooling beside you. Todd from accounting launches into a 5-minute soliloquy about how the current process is archaic, inefficient, and comparable to sending invoices via carrier pigeon. The room, previously alive with passive-aggressive tapping, falls silent. Eyeballs hover above monitors like meerkats spotting a hawk. You sip your coffee, channeling your inner Stoic, and calmly inquire, "Todd, what do you suggest?" The law is as simple as it is powerful. Asking for suggestions does two things. First, it filters out venting from productive critique. Second, it shifts responsibility. That higher complainer is now a potential architect, not just a demolition expert. Many will backpedal. I just thought someone should know. Some will offer nervous shrugs, and a brave few will present ideas, some even good ones. The magic is watching the spectral army of critics evaporate under the gentle beam of "What's your answer?" You become less a sponge soaking up complaints, more a mirror reflecting them back with a question mark. This isn't about shaming people into silence, although the prospect of complete silence at the next office meeting is oddly tempting. Instead, it's about creating a culture of responses over rants. When asked what they do differently, the chronic critic faces a choice. Shift from announcer of problems to seeker of solutions. This is peak Stoic judo. The ancient Stoics were masters of redirecting energies. Why stand in the way of a rushing river of complaints when you can quietly dig a canal and turn it into irrigation for a field of answers? If they offer a solution, recognize it. Applaud even the most questionable ideas. Thank you, Cheryl, for your plan to hold all meetings on beanbags in the break room. Innovative spirit. Noted. You want to reward courage, not just accuracy. When you seek solutions, you don't just filter negativity, you fertilize creativity. Now let's admit, sometimes suggestions are less solid blueprint and more pizza order scribbled on a napkin. That's okay. Redirecting the flow doesn't guarantee every answer will fix the plumbing. But it means the conversation moves, however clumsily, away from the gutter and toward the garden. At home, deploy the same tactic. Next time your roommate grumbles about the dishes evolving into a sentient, plate-based organism, simply raise an eyebrow and ask, "What do you suggest?" Watch as creative geology, maybe even a dishwashing rotor, forms from the previously aimless mudslide. Stoic. Practice is not passive. It's not about suffering noisy complaints in silence. It's about gracefully handing the megaphone back to the world and saying, "If you've got concerns, I'm listening. But if you want change, bring a plan." The world is full of people who spot the rain. Few carry umbrellas, and fewer still pack towels for the splash zone. So, next time the critics gather, hand them the architect's pencil. Some will doodle, some will draft, some will stare into space, perhaps contemplating the mysteries of workplace air conditioning. But every time, you seize back serenity. And like all good Stoics, you won't need to plug your ears. The silence or the solutions will do that for you. Law 8. Endless debate drags on because you secretly hope to convince the unconvincible. The Stoics? State your standard, then release them from your circle. I've shared where I stand, and it hasn't changed. No more struggle. No more wasted arguments. Your clarity is your peace. Imagine, for a moment, that you are at a family gathering. There's fruit salad, there's uncomfortable silence, and there's that one cousin who insists, adamantly, that the earth is shaped like Albert Einstein's left shoe. You try, valiantly, to correct him. Perhaps you try diagrams made out of olives. Maybe you reference both NASA and your favorite YouTube explainer. He counters with a Facebook meme and a look of utter conviction. At this crossroads, you might be tempted to dig in. You might feel the gravitational pull of the infinite debate loop. a spiral of logic, exasperation, and potato salad. But today, you are a Stoic. You simply state, "I've explained my view, and I stand by it." You sip your beverage with the tranquility of a sea turtle meditating beneath the waves, and let the argument drift by, like a runaway balloon at a carnival. That's the secret. Your responsibility is to know what you believe, and to express it with clarity, not to chase down every wayward opinion like a lost sheep. The ancient Stoics called this the art of releasing, acknowledging that discussion has its place, but past a certain threshold, continued engagement is just ego wrestling itself in the mud. And what's mud good for? Pottery, pigs, and possibly spa treatments, but not for a peaceful mind. See, every moment spent debating the unconvincible is a moment of serenity spent in exile. You rehash your points, your voice grows hoarse, and your stress levels rise, while the other person cements themselves more deeply into their views. It's a tragic comedy in 2 acts. Act 1, the passionate declaration. Act 2, the glassy-eyed resistance. Cue the laugh track. Pour the tea. As Marcus Aurelius once said, probably while dictating with one eyebrow raised, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. But I am not harmed if someone else holds a different opinion." In other words, share what matters, then let it go. You're neither the guardian of the world's reason nor the internet's last line of defense. This is your new MO. Set your boundary, repeat it if needed, and then walk away gently, peacefully, even heroically, as if you're retreating from the battlefield, but with none of the dramatic slow-motion explosions, just a gentle slide into tranquility. If you must, picture yourself putting on a pair of metaphorical, noise-cancelling headphones, Stoic edition, and nodding sagely as the debate wafts over your head like elevator music. Let it be known, you are a limited edition. Your energy is rare and precious. Every time you repeat your standard, you reinforce your own boundaries, fortifying your peace and modeling a form of strength unshaken by outside noise. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom is not having the last word, but simply having the final calm. So tonight, as you drift off to sleep, imagine your circle becoming lighter. The unnecessary arguments, the stubborn debates, float away, untethered. You're left with your own clear voice, soft as a lullaby, echoing, "I've stated my standard. I'm at peace." That, dear friend, is how the Stoic sleeps. Serene, unbothered, and as unflappable as a cat sitting in a sunbeam, totally unmoved by the chaos beyond the window. Law 9. Sometimes, to silence the world, you must simply walk away. When the conversation is poison, when dignity is at risk, you say, "I'll leave this here." Leave not with bitterness, but with quiet, moral gravity. Remove your presence and watch as emptiness speaks more powerfully than any parting shot. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? We imagine that being the last to speak means we've won, like getting the last cookie at a family gathering or out-sarcasming your uncle at Thanksgiving. But the Stoics, those serene toga-clad philosophers, would shake their heads, sip their wine, and tell you that the loudest ego drowns in its own noise. True strength is found in the grand art of a dignified retreat, not the retreat of a cartoon villain backed into a corner, waving a fist and yelling, "You haven't seen the last of me." No, the retreat of someone who recognizes the battlefield is, occasionally, best left to the pigeons and the wind. Dignified retreat is not a surrender. It is a boundary drawn with invisible chalk, a quiet statement that your inner peace is not up for negotiation. Picture Marcus Aurelius calmly closing his journal while an ancient Roman influencer rages next to him about fake friends and toga brands. Marcus simply stands, offers a gentle nod, and glides out. A display of silent nobility. No mic drop, just a well-oiled hinge and the soft click of the door. But why is it so difficult? Our egos itch when provoked. Our fingers hover over keyboards, desperate to unleash that one flawless comeback. Social media, the world's largest coliseum, trains us to believe every slight demands a response. The truth, most noise is just that. Noise. A dignified retreat is like a parent turning off an incessant toy. Suddenly, the buzzing stops, and the silence is beautiful. The essence of Stoic exit lies not in defeat, but in discipline. You refuse to be baited because your sense of self exists independent of applause or boos from the cheap seats. You wield the ultimate power, the freedom to leave, to preserve your dignity unscathed, to offer neither explanation nor apology. Imagine applying this to your own life. At work, when someone slings passive aggression like a condiment. At home, when the debate over dishwasher organization turns Shakespearean. You just smile. Inner monologue playing a gentle lullaby. Stand and vanish. Your sanity remains whole, and the other party is left wrestling only with their own words. Even nature is stoic in its departures. The sun does not argue with the moon when it's time to replace the sky. The tide does not pen a farewell letter to the shore before receding. They simply go. The art of leaving is as natural as breathing out, a letting go, an honoring of your own boundaries and self-respect. A dignified exit is thus a kindness, a gift to yourself and to your adversary. No more fuel tossed onto fires that do not warm you. Besides, nothing mystifies the world more than someone who leaves, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. When you slip quietly out of a toxic situation, you let your absence echo through the room, a silent Socratic question mark. Was the noise ever worth it? So next time a conversation turns caustic, remember, silence is not empty. It is full of dignity, full of strength, and sometimes a bit of misunderstood comedy. After all, nothing ruins a drama like one actor exiting stage left for a sandwich. Choose that sandwich. Exit with honor, and let the world marvel at what you did not say. Law 10. The rarest art, to meet the harsh and the petty with ironic kindness. A smirk, a shrug, a wry. I suppose that's another way to see it. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes all you can do with nonsense is laugh, not mocking, but unburdened." Humor is proof you've already won the inner conflict before a word is spoken. How magnificent to realize your greatest weapon in life's battle of egos can be, wait for it, a giggle. Not a snarky one, you're above that. Okay, you're trying. More the gentle kind, like you're in on a joke, the cosmos whispered, just to you. The truth. Most drama evaporates in the face of cheerful absurdity. The person glowering, arms crossed, infuriated by a delay at the post office. The moment you meet them with a warm grin and well, I suppose we're all learning patience together today. You can practically see the air leave their balloon. Don't mistake. You're not belittling. You're diffusing. You're refusing access to your serenity. The humor shield is light, transparent, never heavy-handed. Sometimes it's just shaking your head at how silly things get, inside or out. Nothing destabilizes a would-be tyrant of the moment like unshakable good humor. This is not about being the court jester, nor is it about making light of genuine suffering. Instead, it's the subtle art of picking your battles, then laying down your sword for a banana peel. We could argue, but honestly, have you tried the complimentary mints at the counter? Suddenly, everyone's attention shifts, from conflict to the peppermint possibilities of existence. And when the pettiness gets personal, picture Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, stoically receiving ridiculous rumors at the morning meeting. "Sire, they say you eat grapes incorrectly." Does Marcus rage against grape gossip? No. He peels one, pops it in his mouth, and offers a knowing look to the ceiling gods. "I'd hate to see what they say about my olive choices." In this, he keeps his dignity and his peace. Humor is how you transform insult from poison dart into confetti. Someone slings a cheap shot. Let it sail by with a quip. That's certainly one interpretation. Their ill intentions dissolve, denied entry. It is worth asking yourself in every crisis, will this matter in a year? If not, can I laugh now so I don't have to later? The world will supply infinite opportunities to practice. Bad drivers, cold coffee, online trolls armed with keyboard warhammers. None can breach your levity. Irony isn't armor, it's Teflon. The nonsense just slides right off. And if in the moment of trial you forget all philosophy, just remember this: the person who can laugh is always a little bit free. The comedian inside you stands up in the court of life, bow tie askew, and testifies, "I am ridiculous. So is this. So are we all." And somehow, the case against you collapses. So, Stoic soul, let the world debate, demand, and dance for drama. You, by choice, stand outside the noise. Remember, argument is rarely about truth. It is about attention. Your silence, your calm answer, your gentle boundary. These are swords that never draw blood. Every time you refuse the bait, you reclaim a little more sovereignty. Let others exhaust themselves on chaos. You preserve your power every sunrise. So tonight, honor yourself. Not for how you silence others, but for how you master your own reaction. Discipline, not as an armor, but as an inner sunlight. Walk quietly, walk free. And in that stillness, remember, you never need to prove your worth. You already are the proof. So, Stoic soul, let the world debate, demand, and dance for drama. You, by choice, stand outside the noise. Remember, argument is rarely about truth. It is about attention. Your silence, your calm answer, your gentle boundary. These are swords that never draw blood. Every time you refuse the bait, you reclaim a little more sovereignty. Let others exhaust themselves on chaos. You preserve your power every sunrise. So tonight, honor yourself, not for how you silence others, but for how you master your own reaction. Discipline, not as an armor, but as an inner sunlight. Walk quietly, walk free, and in that stillness, remember, you never need to prove your worth. You already are the proof.